I'm Elena, and we are back with another video. Today we are talking about trauma dumping, what that is, what that's all about, what it's not. Before we jump into that, it's important to know that SNAP benefits are changing. So I have a blog post in our description box to show you a few resources. So let's get into our topic for today of trauma dumping. This term comes up a lot in therapy, in friendships, in online relationships, and maybe even with your family. Also, I hope you enjoy our background today. I thought it might be a little bit better than my ugly, blurry space. And this just screams fall. Anyway, I keep getting distracted. Let's get back into what trauma dumping is. So you might have heard the term before and wondered, am I trauma dumping when I vent? Or maybe somebody said, hey, you're trauma dumping on me, and it really stung a little bit when you heard that. So let's unpack what trauma dumping is, what that actually means, and how to share what you're going through in a way that helps you heal instead of harming your relationship. So, trauma dumping happens when somebody shares intense, emotionally charged, or traumatic experiences without checking in with the other person, usually in a way that's overwhelming or uninvited. It's not done maliciously, it's usually coming from pain, but it can cross emotional boundaries if the other person isn't ready or doesn't have the capacity to hold that kind of conversation. For example, imagine somebody casually says, hey, how are you? And instead of a quick check-in, they go into a really long, detailed story about their trauma with no warning. This can be emotionally jarring, especially in spaces where it's happening repeatedly, or maybe you're at work, or maybe you're in a Discord chat with your friends and you just weren't ready for it. But I want to clear something up because venting and trauma dumping are not the same thing, and it can get confusing. Venting is actually really normal and healthy, and we should be able to do that with our friends in a safe place. We all need to express our feelings. The difference comes down to, do you have consent to go into the details of what you're experiencing? That heavy stuff you want to let out? Do you have consent to do that? And the other criteria we want to look at is the context. We want to be careful not to do it in places like work, and you have to maintain a professional presence, and you might not want to do it with a large group of people. So it's really important to consider the context of where you are expressing yourself and opening up. Let's say you're not really sure if a place is appropriate to express yourself and vent and share what's going on for you. You can check in and simply ask the person you're talking to, hey, can I talk to you about something that's heavy for a minute? I just need to get it off my chest. That gives the other person a chance to say, sure, I have the space. I'm definitely here to listen. Or it gives them a chance to say, I really care about you, but I just don't have the mental capacity right now to actively listen. I don't have the right headspace for this right now. We don't know what somebody else is carrying, so we want to check in and get that consent before we overwhelm them with what's overwhelming us. That simple check-in creates emotional safety for both people. Now you might ask, but what if I have nobody to talk to? What if everybody tells me no? This is why it's so important to invest in your own mental health, whether that's through seeking a therapist, going to a support group, using healthy coping tools like journaling, talking to teachers and educators, investing in your own self-help. There are so many beautiful ways for us to process trauma, process stressful situations, and it's important to have safe friendships where you can vent to each other. If you don't have that right now, please know you're not alone. And there are other resources out there for you that I hope that you get to investigate. I also have some resources in the description box below with ways to find a therapist or ways to get in touch with a support group. Let's get into why people trauma dump. If you've ever trauma dumped, please know that it doesn't mean you're a bad person or that you did something horribly wrong, because we all do it. It usually means you're holding a lot of pain and you need to release it, and you feel like you don't have a safe space to do that. People might do it because they feel unseen, unheard, or desperate for connection. They might not even realize that they're doing it. That's why having support, whether it's therapy, a friend, or journaling, is so important. It gives you a space to process what's going on for you instead of just pouring out without warning. If you're on the receiving end of trauma dumping, you can set boundaries with kindness. You might say something like, I really care about you, but I don't have the emotional space to hold this for you right now. That way you are validating what your friend or acquaintance is going through, but you're also setting a boundary at the same time. Boundaries aren't about pushing people away, they're actually about maintaining a relationship and keeping it healthy. And that means saying no sometimes if you feel like you can't handle something or if you feel like you're not the best person for it. You can also say, hey, this topic is a little too heavy for this space right now. Why don't we shift to something lighter just for the time being? Because it's okay to protect your energy and remember that boundaries don't make you heartless. They make connections sustainable. Let's get into a healthier way to share. If you notice you tend to overshare when you're distressed, try this. Pause before unloading. Observe how you're feeling in your body and also observe the person that you're with. Notice if they seem open and receptive or if you think they might also have something going on for themselves. Then ask. Ask if the person has space right now to hear about what you're going through. Notice what you need. Do you need to be heard? Do you need validation? Do you want advice from a friend? Do you need to feel seen? Notice what you need in that moment. That could help guide a conversation. And create safe outlets for yourself. Therapy is a great option. Maybe it's saying voice notes into your phone just for yourself so that you can talk through something. We also mentioned journaling. Maybe you want to express yourself through art, drawing, dancing, coloring, painting. A lot of physical expression can be helpful. Or somatic exercises, doing deep breathing, exercising with yoga, going for a nice walk or a run. Sometimes having one of these safe outlets helps you release the emotional tension you're experiencing, and they could help you figure out exactly what you want to say without overwhelming yourself or another person. So to recap and sum it up, trauma dumping doesn't make you a bad person. It's about learning how to share in ways that are sustainable and healthy and in ways that respect both you and another person's boundaries. Remember, your emotions are valid. You deserve spaces where you can be seen and feel heard. Let's take a deep breath together to conclude our video here. Inhale, hold it, exhale, release. If you enjoy more mental health chats like this, make sure you like this video, subscribe, and follow for more mental health content.